and let us begin with question number 17. Let us read this question first. Following is the balance sheet of NJ Limited as at 1/4/2020. So balance sheet given at 1/4/2020. You have been given non-current assets and current assets 7,000 and 5,000 totaling to rupees 12,000. Then you have equity and liabilities. You have equity share capital amounting to 2,000, reserves amounting to 3,000, 10% debt amounting to 5,000, and in the balance sheet itself you have been given total capital employed, that is rupees 10,000, and then current liabilities added 2,000. The total of your equity and liabilities also comes to 12,000. Let us move ahead and read further. For the year ended 31/3/2021, the company achieved total sales of rupees 15,000. Cost of goods sold is 70% of sales. The company incurred operating expenses of rupees 2,000. Tax rate is 30%. The company uses capital asset pricing model for determining the cost of equity. For this purpose, following information is available. Risk-free rate is given as 8% per annum. Rate of return in the market is 16% per annum. Beta of stock of NJ Limited is given as 1.5 times. And finally, what you are required to do is determine the economic value added for NJ Limited. Alright, if we try to understand what is given in this question and how you are going to approach the same, let us plan your solution in a systematic manner. First, based on this given information, you make up an income statement. That is, from sales you subtract the cost of goods sold, arrive at gross profit, subtract operating expenses, arrive at EBIT. Once you get to know what is EBIT, you have built a platform. Now, from EBIT, how to reach the net operating profit after tax, we have discussed that already. That step you are definitely going to apply. Then, for computing capital charge, you need two typical information, that is the total amount of capital employed and the weighted average cost of capital. Total capital employed has been given in the question in the balance sheet itself. However, weighted average cost of capital will be simply the weighted average of two components of cost, because in this question we are finding only two components, that is debt and equity. Of course, equity includes reserves, so we have just two components of capital. Now, debt will have its own cost, which is identified as cost of debt. So you would work out a post-tax cost of debt, that is symbolized as KD. You would then work out KE, that is cost of equity, based on CAPM, which is demanded by the question. So you compute KD, you compute KE, and then the weighted average cost of capital can be easily determined. After you get weighted average cost of capital, apply that on the total capital employed and you get the capital charge, and you would have already worked out the net operating profit after tax. You can easily get the end result in the name of economic value added. So let us see how to write up the solution. With your solution, this is something that you have already mentioned. I don't think there will be any doubts over here, correct? EBIT is 2,500. Thereafter, when you have to determine the net operating profit after tax, be careful over here. I told you two different approaches. So earnings before interest and tax is given as 2,500. First subtract interest out of that, and what you get is earnings before tax. Once you get earnings before tax, this will be the proper amount of profit which will be subject to taxation, and on that you apply 30% tax. Tax rate is given as 30%. So 30% of 2,000 would be 600. Subtracting that, you will get profit after tax. Now, this is profit after tax. We want net operating profit after tax. So the post-tax effect of the amount of interest would be added back. What would be the post-tax effect of interest? I have explained you that also. it will be interest amount multiplied by 1 minus tax rate. Tax rate is 30%, so 1 minus tax rate would be 70%. 70% of interest amount would simply be 350, and when that added back, you would get net operating profit after tax, that is 1750. And then we have discussed alternative way of making this calculation, and this can simply be done by subtracting tax directly from EBIT. So what we are doing is we are again making starting point as EBIT, and this time we will directly apply tax on EBIT. So tax on EBIT, that will be 30% of rupees 2500, it would give you 750, and when you subtract 750 from 2500, you get net operating profit after tax, same amount as you got earlier. So in exam you can follow any approach. Obviously the second approach will be much easier and quicker, which we would prefer doing ahead. Let me now explain you what has to be done next. Now what needs to be done next is, you have already computed the first component, that is net operating profit after tax. What is now to be done? You have to arrive at capital charge, and capital charge will simply be the amount of capital employed. On that you have to apply weighted average cost of capital. But the question is, weighted average cost of capital is not given to you directly. You will have to determine weighted average cost of capital. The question is, how would you determine weighted average cost of capital? To compute that, first thing what you have to do is compute cost of debt, compute cost of equity. That means for each component of your capital employed, you have to compute the respective cost. Now at intermediate level, you have very clearly learnt how to compute this cost of debt and cost of equity. You have also learned how to compute weighted average cost of capital. So what we generally do is, keep in your mind one thing: when you compute cost of debt, it is again the post-tax effect. So the post-tax interest amount is basically already computed as 350. It is 350 divided by 5000 would give you the post-tax cost of debt. In percentage, if you want, you just multiply by 100. So it will be 350 divided by 5000 into 100, and I'm sure you would be getting that as 7%. Next thing what you will do is, using capital asset pricing model that you have been learning throughout right from portfolio topic, use capital asset pricing model and apply CAPM equation, that is RF plus RM minus RF into beta, and you would easily get cost of equity, because in this question cost of equity was supposed to be determined by CAPM. Now one more thing, at intermediate level you have learned determining cost of equity by different methods. Here you will be determining cost of equity by just one singular approach most of the times, and that will be capital asset pricing model, because capital asset pricing model is the focus point at your level. Now for computing KD, just apply this particular formula, that is interest into 1 minus tax rate divided by net proceeds. If you have used short forms, do mention the elaborate form of these, and when you make the computation, the cost of debt would work out to 0.07 or 7%. Now apply CAPM and compute cost of equity, which will be basically expected rate of return as per CAPM. So it will be 8% as risk-free rate, 16% as market returns, and beta factor is 1.5 times. So what you simply do is 8 plus 16 minus 8 into 1.5, which would give you 20%. So now you have to just compute the weighted average cost of capital. And do you know how to compute the weighted average cost of capital? Computing weighted average cost of capital, just a simple way. You make a table where you start with share capital, reserves and debentures as the three sources of your capital, write down the amount of each of these. In the K column, you mention the cost of capital for each individual component, and be careful over here, for the reserves the cost will be same as cost of equity. So for reserves you just apply same as cost of equity, that is 20%. And in the last cost column, what we are doing is we are applying these percentages on the book value amounts to arrive at the exact cost by monetary value. When you take the total of the amounts of capital, it comes to 10,000. It was already given in the balance sheet. When you take the total of cost, it comes to 1,350. So your weighted average cost of capital will simply be total cost of capital divided by total amount of capital, which will be 0.135 or 13.5%. After computing weighted average cost of capital, what you just need to do is move ahead and apply this equation now. EVA is net operating profit after tax minus multiplication of weighted average cost of capital into capital employed, and that will be 1750 minus 1350. So basically your capital charge is 1350, which was the total of that cost column, and 1750 is the net operating profit after tax. So your final answer of EVA comes to rupees 400. So what you find over here is the completion of the solution. However, if I simply tell you just yet another way of arriving at EVA, that is economic value added, you would be amazed. What you do is start making income statement right from the beginning. Start from sales less cost of goods sold, you get gross profit. Subtract your operating expenses, you arrive at EBIT. Subtract interest, you get EBT. Subtract tax, you get profit after tax. Now from the amount of profit after tax, just subtract that portion of capital charge which you have to provide to the equity. So it is the aggregate of equity share capital plus reserves and surplus. On that aggregate amount, if you apply cost of equity, that is KE, and whatever amount you get, that when you subtract from profit after tax, you will get nothing but EVA directly. So even that could be another way of determining EVA.